Yeah. Now, Mark, I know we've got a couple more minutes here, but I've got one thing that I have been struggling to square a little bit mentally is, when I look at, and I've got a bias, I operate in crypto, so I'm I have a naturally maybe tilted long bias on that space. I'm very constructive on it. But, when I kind of look out into the world of crypto, I kind of see, everything kind of bottomed, I think, in November and December last year around FTX. So FTX imploded. We didn't put in a new low. All the sellers basically did what they were going to do. And now I totally agree with kind of yours, no sellers left basically in this market. And I think it's going to do very well. On the other hand, I kind of look out into the broader economy and it's like, maybe there's still another, shoe to drop. That now the problem historically is that there's been a strong correlation in between the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of crypto more broadly, and kind of like high value tech stocks, right? Or high growth tech stocks. So I'm having trouble squaring these things in my head where I feel very constructive and optimistic on crypto as a space, but I don't feel particularly constructive on, sort of the economy and the stock market in general. So do you also agree with that? Or am I missing something there? Or how would you kind of square that circle?
I think part of the challenge for you, for me, for people like Jack, for people like Jim, that actually look at data, is we kind of get polluted, and I don't mean that in a negative sense, but and polluted is maybe the wrong word, but we get.
I think I know what you mean.
We get a dose of reality, right? And when you look at the actual data, and you look at, economic slowing and deglobalization and, closing of trade routes, and you look at what just happened with China and Saudi and Russia and what that means for the petrodollar system, it's really pretty easy to get kind of, I won't say bearish, but definitely concerned that, like I said, there's another shoe to drop but here's the thing. And this was the point of the global liquidity wave. The world has decided, and look, and when I say the world, I do mean that. I think, every year around WEF, the leaders get together and the finance people, the central bankers, which this kind of does piss me off, right? Because I remember a time when the central banks were not important. They were not gods. They were not the most important people in the world. Now they are, because they are keeping the Ponzi afloat. And what they decided was to turn the spigots back on. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it QE. You can call it not QT. You can call it, lender of last resort. You can call it BTFD, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars are flowing into the global economy. And that is going to push risk asset. And look at the risk asset. Look, the valuations of things like Apple, stupid, right? The company's not growing. It is not growing a top line at all, like zero. Same thing with Amazon, same thing with Netflix. They're not growing. But yet, we've got them right back. All of this move this year is just multiple expansion. We've pushed them right back to 25, 30, 40, 50 plus times. And that's illogical. But it's because there's so much liquidity sloshing around. And that's why I think, look, crypto is where it is. Look, crypto's up 100%. Bitcoin up 100%.
Yeah, I know. And people aren't, we're basically right where the reason I have become pretty excited about it, I feel like I've actually been, relatively constructive this whole time, at least since November, December, but we're up 100% and there's not a whiff of euphoria. Not a whiff.
No one's buying.
I know.
No one is buying. Volumes are dead. BITO volumes are dead. We run this little thing called CRIP. None, zero. No one's buying.
That has to excite you, right? I mean, it says it's double, and there's no one that's particularly excited about it.
Nope.
Very interesting.
It's all people who are already in. There's no new volume from retail. Now, who is buying? Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor just bought another 1,000 BTC. He now owns one out of every 150 Bitcoin that will ever exist in history. He's basically created, I love this, he's actually created the Bitcoin ETF that the SEC won't approve.
He has.
And it's levered, which is even better, because there's no way they would approve that.